Oh, welcome one and all to SpeedGaming 6 for yet another installment of our Super Metroid and Link to the Past combo randomizer tournament. Today we have cassidymoen playing against Relkin for a chance to meet in the next stage of the brackets, up against a real cutie.
Is he though?
And joining me, I have Ms. Metroid. Hello there, Tess. How are you?
I'm well. How are you? Do you
Doing just...
is real cutie? Is he?
I don't know. I might have it on good authority that they are. Looks like our runners are getting started here.
Good, because I've asked multiple people and nobody ever seems to know.
Have you tried asking him?
No.
Also have to give shout-outs to our tracker today, Mind of Me. She's in the background.
Yes, thanks very much to Mind of Me, also helping out with some of the back end setup as I was in a mad dash to get started for commentary. So thank you all. Oh, and right out the gate, map check.
Is an early map check. Looked like it was a 3-crystal light world. That's pretty convenient.
Crystal at Pyro. And yeah, the other two are just regular crystals, 4 and 7, I believe.
So right out the gate, we have a little bit of a divergence in how they are going to tackle their first checks and Link to the Past. So you have Cassidy starting in the Sanctuary, and they'll make the north route into Kakariko. Relkin's going to check the Secret Passage to see what Uncle has for us today.
Yep, and a little bit of divergence with Cassidy heading over to do a lot of the village checks and our Aga ledge at the Lumberjacks. Oh, a glove from Uncle.
An early glove. That's going to be something that both of our runners are going to like to see here.
Yes, definitely. Nice to see. We've had a single rupee or a pack of 4 from a triple and the bush crab giving out small potion fills.
It looks like it's just a pile of rupees on the Lumberjack Lich today, so hopefully the sea doesn't force us in that Aghanim direction.
Oh yeah, with gloves, there's better places to farm rupees. So if they have to do Aga, hopefully it's only for Dark World access and not for 300 rupees, because if that's what you're doing Aga for, I'm gonna have a chat with you after the race. Super's in the forest though at the mushroom spot. Is that our first super pack?
That would be our first ammo pack at all. And then we see our other tree pull is arrows today. Not a lot of help from some of the more general overworld stuff. Yeah, Cassidy opting to save and quit in the same... Actually, they're going south to the dam in Mini Moldworm, probably.
Yeah, they do have a single bomb that will at least get them into the Mini Moldworm Cave. Hopefully at the dam here, they'll have maybe another weapon or another pack of bombs, hopefully. Early Agina would be all right as well. A lot of runners will wait till they get boots or flippers or a flute to kind of path in the Desert Pallor checks. All right. So no bombs or weapon in that first chest at the dam. But the soggy item is a power bomb. That's a kind of bomb. Sort of work.
It's not the kind of bomb we're looking for, but it is a nice pack of bombs to have. When we do find that more fall, you're going to want as many power bombs as you can get to start going through Super Metroid.
Yeah, at least 3 packs of 5, so you have 15 total, is the ideal point to start with anytime you want to go anywhere with more Morphin power bombs. Hey, more power bombs!
Yeah, those we'll be able to see later, though. I have no way into desert yet. Looks like Relkin is checking one of these 50-50 stones for bomb drops. That's actually a pretty good idea.
It's getting pretty lucky. I think that's at least 2 out of 3. Oh, baby.
I'm being really generous to us today. Now, Cassidy finds 300 rupees in a Gina's cave. That means they can go the south route into Kakariko and actually buy a pack of 10 bombs.
Mm-hmm. Or they'll head to the Lake Island, or the Lake Shop, and pick up some bombs there. But towards Village it goes.
And Relkin finding bombs in the thieves' hideout here. So,
Ooh.
not as much of a concern now.
And an ice beam.
Yeah, that ice beam's kind of a cool find. It's going to make the game much more easy to go through later. It's going to put a few things in logic also, but nothing too crazy.
At the maze game, I think that's our second E-tank that we've seen, so not a bad idea to pick it up. Cassidy decides he doesn't want to pick it up.
Is that a sword on the library?
Yeah. Yep. And wave beam in the back of the well.
So we're seeing a little bit of offensive. Oh, look at that one. Ooh.
The true hype cave is the well today.
Now, we're probably looking for a morph ball before we think about doing any of these higher density checks, but knowing where your gravity suit is going to make the game a lot nicer.
Yeah, morph ball's probably hanging out in the mini Moldorm cave because nobody's going there right out the gate.
You never know, you could have another one of those 1-hour morph seeds.
Don't say that. All right, so we've got Zora and Logic with Glove. We've got a couple checks in Super Metroid that are available.
Now, Relkin actually opted to open up the rat den because these bombs will respawn anytime you go in. Save some 50 rupees for later.
Yeah, especially since he hasn't been to that Agina's cave for that extra bump of that 300 rupees. Also picking up a couple extra health and bomb and arrow fills, so that's good. Now he's gonna head down to the library and get the news about the sword. And then whether or not Relkin wants to pick up that E-tank, we'll have to see if he just blind does the run through the maze or is gonna take a peek at the item first.
Well, I personally like doing the maze blind.
Same.
Because chances are you're going to look at it and go, save and quit anyway. But when you look at it and you see if it's something you want, you spend that extra time to walk back and then go in.
Yeah, like this. Exactly.
So Relkin has decided they want an energy tank. They're going to go for it. And Cassidy is probably going to head to Mini Moldworm Cave now that we are full on bombs.
Indeed. Perhaps our boots will be there to give us the access to the sword. All right, so I was watching the race with Total and Dante earlier. Total only had 4 bombs going into Mini Moldorm and only killed 1 Moldorm with 1 bomb and had to switch to Fire Rod. It was getting pretty sketchy in there. There's definitely some trolly Moldorms. But we did get silver arrows, another power bomb pack, and a couple packs of missiles. So that's not a terrible little Mini Moldorm cave, but still no major progression.
As Relkin checks the back of his cape, we see a red cane coming in really early here.
Oh, baby. That's nice to see. Some people may take that and use that to get up to the mountain because you can plant the block and carry it with you as a directionality on how, just like this, on how to get through some of the dark rooms. So
he's going to take that key that he found right away and go into the Dark Cross item, see if we can get our hands on that. He didn't get a key, did he?
No,
yeah, he did.
not
He
yet.
had to use the door. He has to find the rat that has the key, and that's not exactly a free thing in Dark.
Well, we got the keys there. There's the key. All right, we got it. Now we just got to find the door. Oh, and there's the
Cassidy's
lamp.
going to have an easier time of this with that lamp.
Yes, okay, there we go. Hyrule Castle? Is that where he, or at least over to Sahashala first?
Yeah, we're going to check Sahashala's closet here. Actually, no, they're probably going... Oh, looks like he's going to pick up some more bombs, and then we might see if they go to the...
Reminded me seeing that big 20 in the Dark Cross room, or at least watching the rupee count go up. I'm not sure if big 20 show up in the dark, but... Woohoo! We saw it this time. All right.
Relkin's set up for a Houlihan here, so they're going to drop into this little secret room that the developers left in for winning a contest with Nintendo Power back in the olden days.
Nice.
It's going to give us some dollars for later.
Ice Palace is our green pendant for the day. Hopefully we can avoid that.
And this one looks to be holding out on us pretty good here.
Yeah, we... vanilla morph? Question mark? Though I guess with the lamp from Ice Rod Cave and the gloves, we do have access to Death Mountain and into Norfair without morph balls. So there are a couple more checks that we do have access to.
Yeah, that lamp does put our old man in logic. He could have the morph ball for all we know.
Yeah, mine and me
also
over there. Alpha PBs with morph because we do have Ice Beam that would get us through Red Tower. The ultimate troll!
I haven't even seen one of those this week already.
Not yet. It's the weekend. We gotta squeeze one in before Saturday.
Alright, Relkin's gonna farm up some rupees. I'm assuming that he'll make the Zora play.
Yep, probably.
Now Cassidy's going to check what they can in Eastern Palace. It's a crystal, so we know we'll have to be back here later. You can't actually defeat the boss without the bow. Can't get to the boss without the bow, so we have 3 items possibly to find here.
Yeah, and of course with the lamp in hand, that's a bigger chance of being able to possibly find the bow here. Probably not. Could happen.
Well, vanilla bow would be kind of weird, but not unwelcome when you already have silvers. It makes the boss very free, makes your early combat free. Allegedly, what we have going on over here is a race. Would you care to confirm that for me?
Allegedly.
Has gotten 500 rupees. They're going to get their desert checks out of the way before they go visit our old scam fish friend.
Yeah, another 300 rupees in Nagina's cave waiting. I bet he'll probably be wishing he hadn't spent that time farming once he gets here.
Doesn't mean he's going to be set for rupees later, because you still need 110 to open up pod. You're going to need to spend on the dig game and the chess game later on. And you never know when you might find enough potion bottles to actually want to buy some blue goo. So it looks like the big key actually ended up being vanilla in Eastern today. So Cassidy has to go through all these rooms that are put in logic by that lamp from Ice Rod Cave. And we'll find the key, get one more check, and we'll see whether or not our progression is here. Alright, so we got relkin strats in Mini Moldorm Cave, and actually, it's one of my preferred ways to handle it. If you give me a cane, I will use it early on.
I'm really kind of confused by what Cassidy just did, because he made the effort of going through Eastern, got the big key in the vanilla chest, but then never went back to open the big chest.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was a little bit... And our
Oh,
tracker
he
is
did
letting
get
us
all 3 items.
get all 3 items, so the big key is literally needed just to open the door, and it's going to be a time save for later.
I must have missed the bridge item or something, I guess. I thought there was one more item.
First check was just 10 arrows, so nothing really exciting in Eastern then. We are going to see a front of escape play from Cassidy, and they only have bombs to work with, so this could be fun.
Yeah. I imagine that we'll see him push all the way through to the back and pick up the Cane of Samaria last. But since he just picked up the gloves from Uncle before coming in here, he wouldn't have been able to do the back of escape, so this kind of makes a little bit more sense for him.
And he already has the lamp, so going through the Dark Cross area is going to be a little bit easier than trying to traverse it, in the dark.
Yeah, exactly.
Finds their lamp.
All right, so we are running a little bit dry. There very well could be a vanilla morph or another Variasuit or something for Lower Norfair to kind of point people in that direction. Very, very good chance at this point that it could actually be Alpha power bombs with the progression.
Relkin is opting to do some fake flipper checks on their way up to see Zora, and I actually like the call.
I did this, I think, earlier this week or last week with the normal weekly SMZ3 race, and soft locked coming back from the old man under the bridge on the wrong pixel and screen transition before I hit the water, so it glitched out. Hopefully, I know Relkin's much more familiar with a lot of these Link to the Past things, so he makes it through.
Yeah, Relkin, no secret that they are very big on the Link to the Past. The team was in the playoffs in the Randomizer League that's been going on. So they know their stuff.
Yeah, he actually does some of the moderating and stuff for the league group, so it's no surprise that he is pretty familiar with A Link to the Past, though he has been a little bit of a dark horse. I hadn't seen him in very many of the weeklies, and he kind of came in, and I'm really impressed with how well he's done. There's quite a few people in tournament that I'd never heard of before, and they've done very well.
Seems like with this tournament, for every name that we've had that was, a household name in terms of how talented they are as a speedrunner, you've had someone that came out of nowhere and really turned some...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say that I doubt we'll ever have this kind of attendance for an SMZ3 tournament race again. But 95 people for a tournament is crazy. Super. Oh no, Cassidy just mirrored.
Well, would you look at what Zora had for us today?
That's not a pearl.
Not a scam.
No, that was definitely very, very worth. I was just thinking, it's not like an oyster would give you a pearl, so it's like a space pearl. Maybe Zora is from another planet and he's just hanging out, handing out morph balls left and right. Zubezian alien, that high roll.
Is the evolution of one of those fish from Meridia?
Oh, he could be an Evier, you're right.
So, the morph ball in hand, Relkin's actually going to go up the mountain, and that's going to give them a little bit of access to parts of Norfair on their way up into Super Metroid.
Yeah, yep, definitely.
Well, you could actually
could
see them go
dip in.
Hera.
Yep, with that mirror. It's kind of without hammer or hookshot. Death Mountain only has Hera really and Spectacle Rock for the runners. There's quite a bit more in Super Metroid that I think is available that would be better. You've got Wave Beam, which will get you instant access back over to the Brinstar area from Red Tower. You've got quite a bit to do in. I think Various Suit may actually just be logic that you need for Wreck Ship with gravity jumps, but I don't know. That might not be in normal logic. Another E-Tank with gravity suit, morph ball, power bombs. We just need space jump, speed booster, grapple, and that will put Wreck Ship in logic. Yeah, high jump boots or morph ball bombs, yep.
Relkin does go out of the way to pick up the sea tank. And it looks like they're going to set up for a bomb jump here.
Cassidy only has, okay, 1 heart to make it through all the cabbages and does it!
Relkin can go into Tower of Hera, but we can't go all the way up to Moldorm if the big key is fire locked, or, no, we have a lamp, never mind. Oh, we get a Dark World map check. Got our second 5/6 Swamp Palace, and crystals on Pod, Rock, and Thieves Town.
They do have the lamp. Both runners have the lamp. So they do have a fire source for Hera.
That's right.
Because I was just thinking that we might not need Fire Rod until inside of Turtle Rock.
So what our runners can do is they can climb and look for the second item here in Hera, but if it's on Moldorm, we can't actually get it until we see a sword or a hammer to actually fight him with.
Yep. Maybe that's here in Hera.
Well, there's our key for the basement, so we could see that before we leave here. We don't find an item in the big chest.
Oh no, the falls.
Oh, Relkin missing the bomb jump slightly and gets punished for it. Goes all the way down to the ground floor here. Cassidy's actually going to do this the vanilla method. They will drop right in front of the chest.
Well, guess we'll have to come back later.
Well, they still have the basement item they can go check.
Oh, yeah. But they're still going to have to come back later to get the crystal. So.
Oh, yeah.
Womp womp.
Nice 30-second coffee break room, as we call it. Or if coffee's not your thing, you know, just have a cup of tea. That's nice. What do you think we'll see behind here? A map?
Maybe. I think it'll be the bow.
Tracker seems to think it'll be either a sword or maybe boots.
It'll be a big 20. I changed my mind. Oh man! Red ship, let's go!
That makes so much movement easy in Super Metroid.
Yeah. That'll be really, really huge for relkin. That gets him access to a lot of stuff.
Yep, and that is where Cassidy is going.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the morph ball yet.
So he might be thinking that Morph is still at large somewhere.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it's really big for relkin to have decided to go pick up the item here in Hera, because that gets him access to everything in Meridia, pretty much, except Botwoon and Dragon. But Wreck Ship, there's a lot for relkin now.
Starting down here, you can go up the red tower. You can go up into Meridian, get all the front half checks. You can do your entire grid loop. You can go to Wreck Ship, but without speed, you'll only orphan one item. That's assuming you don't encounter speed on the way.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just counting down the minutes from here. How long of a lead will relkin have on that morph ball over Cassidy? Fortunately, there's really not too much more than like Red Tower that Cassidy can do until they head towards Brinstar. But even then, it's morph ball locks so much.
Yeah, there's a very sizable chunk of Super Metroid that you simply cannot even access without the ability to curl up into a ball like that. So eventually Cassidy's going to get stonewalled by not being able to get all these checks, and they're going to lose a little time, but the game is eventually going to push him back into the past.
It's a really nice red tower. Very well done. I really hate this room. I always end up in the floor like 6 times and spikes when I don't want spikes.
At least you don't end up in the vile plumes like I do.
That's what I mean, in the floor. Yeah.
Oh,
nom
you mean
nom
the floor
nom.
that actually chews you?
Yes. Yeah.
Like that.
Yes.
It's always a feel bad when you walk into this room, you hit one of the bouillons right away, and then right into the floor.
Yep. So, an e-tank alpha peeps, which is nice. You could always grab that either on your way to Wreck Ship or just coming back. Can kind of skip the ship refill unless you're dying for ammo. Guys, the bot's back. Yay!
Hey! Yeah, mad props to our behind the scenes at SpeedGaming for helping us get through what was a tumultuous few days without a bot, and we had tech issues on the server side. So big props to Feasel and the tech crew behind the scenes.
Nice quick kill by relkin. Some of this execution that he's got for Super Metroid, like I said, I wasn't aware that he was big on Super Metroid, and it's really impressive. So
it's nice to see, because when you see a player like Andy, who's known for playing Link to the Past, and then you watch him play a combo randomizer or practicing at Super Metroid, you get really surprised.
yeah, I mean, Andy's had a pretty decent Super Metroid time for quite a while. I think he's been at least sub-hour for pretty much since I've known him, but I mean, he's not the same as like Zost and Oats and a couple of those other Sloters runners and stuff like that are really, really great at Super Metroid. So, but he definitely has the skills in both games.
So Cassidy coming up a little bit dry on a few of the checks that he's made here. Blue Bryn just a pack of bombs and a big 20 in the ceiling. That doesn't leave a lot for him to do here.
No. There are a couple things down into Big Pink that he oh no, he doesn't have a way to get through the wall there. Yeah. He's definitely locked to Eastern Palace and Zora at this time. Oh no, he did do Eastern, that's right. Yeah, pretty much just Zora. So it looks like he's heading over to the desert farming spot, same as Relkin.
Yeah, with only 199 rupees to work with, that's going to take a little bit of farming before that's actually in play for us, but it is the play. And it is not a good feeling knowing that your progression is on that fish.
Yeah, it's about a 5-minute difference from when Relkin was in Super Metroid with Morph Ball, Space Jump, Gravity, to now where Cassidy's like, all right, last location is Zora. So probably end up being about 6-7 minute lead. Depends on how long it takes to farm up the rupees. And the thing is that he doesn't even know whether or not it's Morph. It could be Screw Attack. It could be several other things. It could be a sword for Hera. It could be a lot of different things.
It could be a hammer for Hera and the mountain.
Hook shot?
Could be a hook shot.
Flippers.
So Relkin checking X-ray for us here with that space jump. Very easy to do, but unfortunately not paying out. So Relkin headed back down here.
Yep. Meridia? Yep, Meridia.
That looks like the play. There's a lot of stuff that Meridia actually opens up with the space jump. Without Speed Booster, it does feel kind of off, especially if you see an item in that Main Street location.
But at least you have the knowledge and you know where whatever item is. All you need is Speed Booster for that. So.
That's good information to have because it would actually tell you that speed will be required in this seed. Unless it's luxury. I don't think we need either of those. I mean, the supers might be nice to pick up later if we don't see a charge beam until late.
Yep.
Alright, Cassidy making the right call now. He is in the water with fake flippers, and he'll get his Morph Ball from Zora in a few minutes here. And it looks like our first 4 checks of Meridia, a whole lot of nothing. Alright, so now up into this area, which we call the beach. Good old yellow Meridia.
Oh, that's Zora. There we go. Got it.
Oh
no.
The Zora's having none of Cassidy's fake flippers, give them a one-hit KO, and they're going to have to traverse all the way back.
All right, and in... Ooh, Ice Rod there in the Wishing Well.
It's nice to see the Ice Rod early, although you're still going to be looking for that Fire Rod, knowing that Skull Woods is a pendant. It could actually be trading places with our Ice Rod here for that great rod hunt for later on.
Yeah, definitely could be a search for that Fire Rod.
Alright, Cassie's going to take two this fake flipper traversal into Zora's domain. Now, actually, in the vanilla game, if that happens, what you end up doing is you're soft locked in place.
Oh, wow.
So the developers made a little workaround, and you see what happens. If you get hit while you're in a fake flipper state, you just die.
That's feels real bad. At this point, I don't even know if I would go for fake flipper. I'd probably just hoof it the long way.
No,
I don't know
if you've already died
worth
to it twice, yeah. I mean, once you go for it a second time, that's fine. Twice, you're thinking, okay, this isn't playing nice for me here. And ooh, Relkin had the snail clip and then just missed it. Just a pixel off, maybe. There it is. Unfortunately, nothing really exciting up here either, so... Alright, that's honestly not a bad thing that happened there, just jumping out of the water on the fake flipper to get on land.
Yeah.
You still only have one heart, so...
Yeah. I think that's what he had been trying to do, but he was right on that corner where the glove rock is, and so he just kept colliding with that and couldn't actually get onto land to get out of the fake flipper stat.
The only thing I'd be worried about here is if Zora decided to snipe him a third time, because with one heart, that would be lethal as well. But it looks like we are home free here, and Cassidy getting his morph ball from our scamfish.
All right. So that's about an 11-minute lead for Relkin, I believe.
I didn't see what was in the other sand pit, but Relkin did reset out of it, so it must not have been that important.
Yeah, left side not very good either.
Yeah, Meridia really not paying out with anything good here. That is a whole lot of nothing in the entire front. The best item we saw was the Ice Rod. We do see a screw attack here in the right sand pit, so that's actually quite nice. You see Cassidy doing the gauntlet check on the left side of your screen, and the fire rod. What?
Okay, so we got both rods and Kano Samaria. We just need another glove and a medallion for Turtle Rock, plus a couple swords.
So we see Cassidy going through the gauntlet check. There's nothing here, really. The supers will be nice to have. But relkin goes to do that check later. Screw attack is going to make it much safer. Well, I will be. That is a Moon Pearl and Terminator.
Wow, that's perfect. That morph ball is just the best.
It's a gift. A little bit of a sparkly boomerang waiting for us in the bomb Terizo room. Since our runners don't have bombs, we won't be seeing that boss fight today. So I think relkin went back to Link to the Past, and they are going to soft reset into Super Metroid.
Yep, there we go. It's a really cool feature of the version 11 with the SMZ3 is the soft reset. So if you're playing either on console or emulator, if you just do the controls that are needed, which is just LR start and select, and that will do a soft reset to send you back to Super Metroid.
And when you transition between worlds, the game will save your progress into memory. So if you save and quit and go straight to Super Metroid, it will drop you off at the ship. It's a really easy way to get around to some of the upper locations. So a wreck ship is always just a couple key presses away that way.
Yep. Ooh, and another E-tank at the Criteria Power Bombs. That's nice to pick up.
So you're already up to 5, and with at least 1 reserve tank, that's a pretty healthy start for less than an hour in here. Cassidy is going to check the rest of the retro Brinstar items here. Going to go up and get these 2. They know they can skip a couple of these checks, like the ceiling, because they've already been here once, looking for the morph ball. Wouldn't be surprised to see relkin go down into Brinstar here, even though the Moon Pearl is right there for the taking.
Yeah, there's way too many checks in the Brinstar area all through the speed booster lock locations. Most people will just mockball all of Big Pink, the Green Hills area, Retro Bryn, which he hasn't seen any of yet. So there's definitely a big draw to get you into that Brinstar area.
So actually coming down here, the only check you would orphan unless you find a speed booster is that item in Waterway. And it's not quite as prevalent a check in combo. Just because there's so many other locations between the two games. Link to the Past introducing 216 item locations.
Yeah, and of course there's always the escape shaft and criteria as well that's speed booster locked. But you can take a peek at that item. You can scout it and see what's there.
There we get a shovel.
We have been fairly light on the fetch quest items, so that's our first one that I think we've seen so far. Nice lineup for the Spore Spawn skip. Laying that power bomb higher up on the screen also opens up the wave gate room. Since we have wave beam, we don't have to worry about trying to do the gate glitch or anything. We'll be able to just head directly into that room and check it out.
Cassidy, you have wave beam.
Yeah.
Cassidy, what are you doing? If I had $1 for every time I did that.
He got it
very
anyways.
nice turnaround setup.
Yeah, nicely done. That's great.
So our runners are going to kind of meet in the middle here, and we haven't seen anything by the way of actual progression in Big Pink.
No, of course outside of the waterway, like you said. So, Mission Impossible?
That's it. Just this bloopy here that we didn't see until now, and the Mission Impossible item, and that's everything we can do in this part of Brinstar.
Yep. Oh,
and we get
wow.
the bow.
Wowie, wow. Both picking up the bow at the exact same time. That's great.
So it doesn't actually do much for us here, does it?
No. I mean, you can get a crystal from Eastern, but without Dark World access or anything else, that's it's nice to have, but that's it.
Which means whatever we need to go forward is probably in that dig spot.
Or Meridia, yeah.
The silvers were in Mini Moldworm Cave.
That's right, we have seen most things in Meridia.
Yeah, we've seen the entire front of Meridia. That's where Relkin found their screw attack.
Yeah, I was
in the
thinking
right
there was
sand
a couple items left, but yeah, just wreck ship.
So Seed's playing very linear, doesn't actually want us to find the kind of open worlds we've seen in a few races the past couple days. So Relkin actually having a little bit of trouble with this backdoor spore spawn skip.
I don't know like an official setup for that. I just YOLO it and I do spin jumps in the direction of the wall while firing a super missile, hoping to just get the wrap, and it works sometimes.
I've seen it where people will run all the way right and then left, set up almost pixel perfect spot on those little plants in the background. I've seen the moonwalk that Cassidy did just a few moments ago. There's a couple different ways you can set that up, but if you miss it, the Zebs are not the most generous sorts when it comes to dropping supers.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible, actually.
But at least it's supers and not, power bombs.
Yeah. Oh, he got it! Yeah!
With one super left, he gets the door. That's a good feeling. And then get some very nice super drops from the Zebs on this side of the door. That's good too.
Yeah. I think the only thing that's like power bombs are the only other thing that they drop less than super missiles. Yeah,
if I recall correctly, their power bomb percentage is either 2 or 4. So if you're going through here with 1 pack of power bombs, chances are you're going to need to be skipping something to get some farming out of the way.
Alright, so while our runners are kind of doing checks that each other have already done, please pop over to their channels, give them a follow. Make sure you support them as our entertainment and the people who are pretty much giving us a show through the tournament. Want to make sure that we support them so they stream some more and we can watch more races.
Our tournament's nothing without our runners. It's also nothing without our sponsor at Rank 1 Global. They have offered us a prize pool for the top 4 runners in this tournament of 95. It is a social network. You can pop up the games that you like to play on the side, meet other gamers that might speedrun games that are interesting to you. That's rank1.global. Go check them out.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool because you can tie in your Twitter, your Twitch pages. You can list all of that on your profile. List the games that you're working on, Twitch clips, upcoming games that are in your queue. It's a pretty nice little website.
Yeah, and while we're at it, I also want to thank Ms. Metroid for joining me today and our tracker Mind of Me. And of course, Ms. Metroid's also helping to organize this whole shindig, so thank you very much, my dear.
It's all the love of the game, you know? It's a great community. It's a great group here at SpeedGaming, so I'm happy to help out, do whatever I can. And another shout out to Mind of Me as well for our tracker for the evening.
So Cassidy going down Red Tower, thought for sure he was actually going to go into Wreck Chip already. Yeah, shoutouts to HK in chat. They wanted to help me out for a couple hours, but they are going to be on the nightcap race that goes on at 9. So tune in to have a listen to his voice.
Ooh, a bottle. That's right.
Where did we see our first bottle? Because I don't remember. Ah, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I believe that was. And we do get to see the second item behind that E-tank at Alpha Peeves now that Cassidy's here with the morph ball so that he can see that second item.
Now, Relkin did check the Shaft Supers item, and it is a flute. It's going to be nice for our runners to be able to get around, but Misery Mire is a pendant, so it can't be our logical access to Lower Norfair. We already have Gravity Suit and the Space Jump.
Yeah. Kind of running low on everything except Wreck Ship.
Yeah, the flute will be a nice thing to have, but it does tell us one thing. If it's not progression, then this seed may not require our runners to see Speed Booster.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Of course, you want to see it anyway, because you want to find all of your Go Fast items.
Yeah, definitely. Alright. Cassidy has a choice here. Up Red Tower to go to Wreck Ship or head down towards Meridia and the Upper Norfair checks that are open. There's not too many of them. Pretty much just high jump boots. for Cassidy and Upper Norfair.
Yeah, the rest of our Upper Norfair checks, because we are on normal logic, we do not have the expectation to do hell runs without a various suit. So it'd be a gutsy call to try to break the logic in that way, but we have no idea whether or not it would even pay off. Tracker pointing out that he also could fight Kraid. We've already seen Kraid on Relkin's side of the screen. Didn't really have too much for us there, but it is a boss we'll have to get out of the way eventually.
Yep. We don't have a mystery option where you only have to do 2 out of 4 golden statue bosses yet. I don't know if we'll ever have anything like that for Super Metroid Randomizer, but pretty much, yeah, gotta kill them all in this. Relkin's heading back over towards Eastern. I don't think he's done these checks yet, but he will be able to full clear having picked up the bow at Mission Impossible.
I didn't say when, but at some point he toggled off the silver arrows. You can menu back into them. But, it's kind of strange. Second time I've seen that in the past day.
It reduces the lag when you're using the bow. So if you're not actually at a place where you have to kill anything and you want to use your bow, green mimics, as an example, or Igors, they just take a single arrow regardless of silver or not. So a lot of the times runners will switch that off to kind of help with lag on screen. Same reason that you see a lot of runners not pick up the mirror shield and not pick up the red boomerang, because of the additional sprite usage and everything. It can cause some lag or delay on screen. So
we get to see if Cassidy goes and gets that quick kill on Kraid, or if we're going to see the stand-up glitch once again. Unfortunately, the charge really just kind of throws off the timing for that.
yeah, once he starts moving, the chance for you to actually hit the quick kill is really, really difficult. It's even harder than a normal quick kill. So,
say one thing though, that is a very nice recovery on that stand-up.
Yeah, definitely. I think the worst part about when Kraid stands up is after he actually gets fully stood up, then when the first time that he opens his mouth at that point is random. It could be real quick, it could take a longer time. So sometimes you just kind of have to like jump back and forth, avoid the nails, do whatever you need to just like wait for him to open his mouth, and then you can finish him off. But
the other problem is you have to wait for him to actually die before you can go straight across into the various suit room. Cassidy sees his arrow of destiny, shakes his head. Alright, so we still haven't seen either of our runners make the trip into Wreck's ship, and that's looking more and more like it might be the call here.
Yep, I agree. Relkin is going to press on into Eastern and get that first crystal on the board for both players when he'll finish this out. And then from there, we're still waiting on which runner is going to make the play to Wreck ship first.
Cassidy, following our personal mantra as a group here of logic is a suggestion, they're breaking the ice beam and crumble tower items here.
Yeah, most definitely. It's easy to do, obviously not on logic, but with as much energy as he has, space jump, everything else, it makes it very easy, quick 2 checks. I don't fault him for checking it, getting him out of the way.
So he's opting to skip the crumble tower item. That is 6 arrows and an Armos Knight's down on Relkin's side.
Very well done. He had a really good quick kill. Not like the official quick kill, but still, it was a very good way to go through the Armos Knights there.
That's right, so 1 hour into this race, we have 1 crystal between our runners, and no idea where it wants us to go next.
Wreck ship. Of course we know where it wants us to go.
Oh, we still have the bottle, too. Wouldn't be lying if I hadn't said Sick Kid has hidden something on us before here.
Yeah, it's very, very true. Got a couple checks and a link to the past. But the density of items available in Wreck Ship, I think, is really probably the better play. Might not be the right one in the end, but it just seems like the better play.
Yep. And mind of me, our tracker reminding us we also found a shovel on the charge beam item. So that could be a fetch quest that puts us somewhere as well.
Yep. Both runners heading into Super Metroid, though. Cassidy still has Wreck Ship. I mean, Meridia, as well as Wreck Ship. And he's already done these red tower checks that Relkin is doing now. So we may end up seeing both runners in Wreck Ship around the same time. We're pretty much back to back. Yo, there's the bottle.
An interesting decision by Cassidy, knowing we haven't seen any of the Meridia checks on his side yet. Going across to Wreck Ship is probably the move that's going to get him a little bit closer to Relkin after that long wait on the last location Morphball early.
Yeah, I agree. I think knowing that you don't logically have access to full clear something like Meridia probably puts Wreck Ship before Meridia, even on the chance that you have the item that you need, like Speed Booster, within Meridia that would get you access through Batoon up to Dragon, so on and so forth. But
with 60 missiles and 7 energy tanks, Fantoon's going to be a little bit safer than you normally see for this early in the game.
yeah, and Relkin on the other side over there with 10 energy tanks, at least 1 reserve, 75 missiles. these guys don't have anything to worry about with Fantoon.
Our spooky missiles or spooky bombs. Probably not something we want to see there for the only free check we can do before Fantoon.
Alright, and the ocean ceiling item, I can rarely... Oh, missiles, okay. I was going to say, I can rarely ever catch what it is. Everybody always seems to see it before I can.
To answer a question in chat, that icon is half of Mother Brain, the other half is the final boss to Link to the Past, that would be Ganon.
Yep, Mother Brain is on the left facing to the left, and Ganon is on the right facing right.
Yeah, he did. Both of our runners have found their free moon pearl.
This will be fairly quick. Double Fantoon action going on.
It's like Fantoon being a little bit unkind RNG-wise to both of our runners.
Yeah, you have a different set of speed on which Fantoon can spawn or open his eye, and then whether or not he's opening his eye quick or slow, and then does he have an upper pattern or a lower pattern? It's a big mess, to say the least. So it's kind of a pain to try and predict what kind of patterns.
And it looks like both runners right now in the middle of a slow pattern to start with. Some good Dopplers from Cassidy, but not exactly getting the amount of missiles you might want to.
Yeah, that's close though. He's at least a couple missiles away. Definitely just one super ought to finish him off, but you don't want to risk enraging Fantoon, even with as much energy as he has.
I've said it in chat a few races I watched. If I had $1 for every time I was one missile off on Fantoon, I wouldn't be alive to see it because he's in raid.
Yeah, exactly.
But that is a GG to one Ghost. Relkin is right behind him. And not getting some very nice patterns out of this. So Relkin should have Fantoon down on this cycle, and he'll be able to follow in our footsteps here as we find more bombs.
Oh, nice. Clipped him right on the bottom of his left side tentacle with the super missile, but he had to come back on screen to actually die.
It's like, hold on, I'll be right back. I'll die when I get here.
Yeah.
It might not have been the fastest fights thanks to the RNG, but those were two very good Fantoon fights by our runners.
Yep, definitely. All right, and Cassidy going for the spiky room of death. To see what's over at the right side wreck ship E-tank. Gravity suit, space jump. That room's nothing when you got that much stuff.
You still gotta be a little bit careful. Gravity doesn't exactly protect you from the enemies in the room, so the spikes will do 60. The platforms will do 100.
Yeah, if you fall through
look at that.
Now they don't do any damage at all.
Yeah, and now we can officially say that room's free.
Yeah. Of course, you still will take damage. It's just significantly reduced by picking up the various suits. So that's pretty huge. Wreck ship, right side, E-tank having that various suit. That's possibly go mode for Super Metroid, at least.
Logically, the only other thing that we could need for direct go mode right now would be a speed booster.
Yeah.
Or we'd have backdoor access to get to Dragon and Meridian. Which is very possible because we know we need the flippers to do Swamp Palace later.
One item for Super Metroid items to be in go, or like 4 Link to the Past items, because you'll need either another glove or hammer and flippers.
Now we say go, but we do have to consider we don't have a charge beam. Ammo is going to be the only consideration at that point when you talk about Mother Brain.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We have a stacked ship today. There's that Dark World access we were talking about in the form of a Titan's Mint.
Gold gloves, woohoo!
And that means we have access to virtually everything we could want to look at in Super Metroid right now. But it also gives us a lot to look at in Link to the Past.
Yep. We'll still need a hammer or a hookshot for the Dark Death Mountain checks. But outside of that, we got quite a bit to do. Pod is not in logic, as well as pyramid or catfish without hammer or flippers. Yep. Wreck ship E-tank, or the wreck ship reserve, only having a piece of heart, so we're still avoiding that speed booster for the time being.
There's the flippers we were talking about.
All right, let's go. SM go mode. Oh, of course, ammo. We're in ammo mode pretty much, but we'll get plenty of that before we ever have to think about Mother Brain.
The best part with finding ammo is you come across it entirely by accident when you check items in Link to the Past.
Yeah, exactly. By the time you finish GT, or Ganon's Tower, not necessarily Gold Chorizo, but you'll have enough ammo before Mother Brain. What a quick seed. Hookshot. Still need hookshot as well.
Could also need boots, we don't know. We haven't actually looked at Desert yet, because we only just got access to it recently.
We have access to Desert?
You can mirror from the Mire area.
True, yes. Yeah, I was thinking flutes, so that's my bad.
The flute would be nice to have.
Yeah, you were talking about flute earlier, so then I was like, wait, do we get flute?
Well, it turns out the way this the progression laid out in the seed, that flute is absolutely a luxury. It is not required progression at all.
Right. Yep. It's pretty much just for quicker routing.
And the same to be said of the speed booster.
Yeah. Well, unless there's something at Waterway.
That would be the only location at this point, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Or Crumble Tower, but
yeah, but we have a way to get to the item in Crumble Tower. We've got space jump that makes it easy.
Well, no, because it's speed locked on both directions logically.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but nobody ever follows that rule with mock balls.
No. What's a speed lock? Unless it's hard gated. Why would you even think about it? Mock ball is one of the first tricks you learn when you're playing Super Metroid as a runner.
Unless you're me and you still don't know how to do it.
Yeah, whole $1. Alright, so we'll probably see Cassidy dip right back into Link to the Past here. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them save and quit and go straight to Sanctuary.
Sanctuary? Ooh, with the mirror strats all the way back to the front door. Nice.
This is a little bit of a hike, but it's usually worth it.
Yeah, definitely. definitely agree. You've got Skullwoods that you can check and complete. Well, no sword. Oh, man, there's no sword. How is there no sword?
You actually
We have
don't have
everything
any
else.
weapon. You don't have a
Yeah.
sword. You don't have a. You would have to use your key to Samaria or to fight against blind at this point.
Yep. There's got to be something like very early in the Dark World for this. It's got to be.
So we have Cassidy. He is going to the back of the middle of Skull Woods to do a few checks here.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. There's a very high chance that what you're looking for is going to either be a small key back here or progression items, and you can just skip the front entirely.
It is interesting to note that the Skullwoods item is a green pendant, so we don't know whether or not that's actually needed for progression. We do know we saw a fire rod relatively early, so it is completable in logic.
Skullwoods is actually the red pendant.
Oh, it is the
Ice
red
Palace is the green pendant.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Swamp
Sahasrara.
Palace because SP.
Yeah, and the little spot next to the pendant next to Skullwoods, that's like the bottom of Mothula's little abdomen body bug bits, kind of looks like the little star too. So, in fact, he's just crazy how alike that is.
So far, not seeing anything exciting in the front half of Skullwoods here.
Yeah, gotta trek all the way back around. Yeah. I thought he picked this up. Yeah. Oh no, that was Cassidy. Duh.
Yeah, Cassidy went to the big key chest the first time. Relkin actually checked the front first.
I'm getting all hecked up.
So we know our items are in the back. Now, Relkin can actually go get them, because they found a fire rod. Cassidy hasn't actually been into... Where was the fire rod? So I know the ice rod was in Meridia. Where was...
Yeah.
The fire rod was also in Meridia. Our trackers let me know.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's in the sandpit, right? With screw attack?
That's right. It was in the right sandpit with the screw attack.
Mm-hmm. Yo, the charge beam in the back of Skullwoods. Nice for Relkin to find that. I'm not sure if Cassidy will actually go back there.
Wouldn't be surprised if Cassidy just straight up skips Skullwoods until late.
It doesn't need to go back.
It's true. And the only time that we might think we need to is if we're running out of locations and you're chasing whatever you have, like a fire rod.
Yeah, or if there's something on pedestal, which would be a true tragedy. Welcome everybody from SpeedGaming Francais 2. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon.
So we're going to see a catfish check from Cassidy. And also probably the waterfall fairy, since we now have our flippers and we don't have to worry about whether or not it's checking for a moon pearl. Oh, now that is a nice thing to find. That's one thing Relkin is going to have that Cassidy doesn't, is we have seen our runners find the X-ray scope already, so when and if Relkin goes in that direction, the charge beam we saw in Skull Woods is going to give him some microwave action on some of our bosses.
Bzzzt. Cassidy is going to be picking up some green potions from the waterfall fairy here. All of the fairies will always, always, always give green potions.
We saw a charge in the back of Skull Woods that Relkin picked up.
Yes, Relkin got Charge Beam in the bridge chest and the back of Skull Woods.
And we get a little bit of divergent paths again. Relkin's decided to go into the Village of Outcasts. So they're going to have a few checks in the overworld, and they can take a dip into Skullwoods. Thieves Town here. Cassidy has opted to do some of the Norfair checks chasing the Variasuit.
Yeah, and I think Cassidy's already at 10, at least 10, maybe 11 heart containers in Link to the Past, so I don't suspect we'll see him picking up very many more. Was that a spring ball?
That was a spring ball. Boing.
Nice.
It's only the best item in all of Super Metroid.
I always say screw attack, but that's just me. Alright, and some rupees. No small key in the front half of Thieves Town. So I guess we're just going to have our fingers crossed that the small key is locked inside of the big chest behind its own door. Since we don't have hammer yet, that would be really helpful for our runners. And we are going to go to Crockermeyer on Cassidy's side. Oh, baby.
Always bet on Croc. We saw a loaded Croc last night. 4 out of the 5 items were actually uniques and very much progression. So you never know. He might have something good. He might have a lot of trash.
Yeah, and Wave Beam puts us in logic without speed booster, so it could potentially have something.
And having a Camfly is going to make checking the other items in the area free as well. You don't necessarily need speed booster to get them.
Yep. Yep, most definitely. Pretty much just morph and screw attack will give you that access.
Screw attack?
Sorry, space jump.
They're kind of hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
Just remember, he may or may not be a treasure trove, but Croc did nothing wrong.
Yeah, he's so sweet. He just wants to play. He's like a puppy. Or maybe a kitten, more like, since he likes to scratch and claw things.
An adorable, scaled, hot-dwelling, 8-eyed kitten.
Yeah.
Well, this is animal abuse, then.
Aww. Minded me with the jokes. That was good.
My cat's loud, but not in the scream sort of way. She will absolutely meow for attention. Then you start giving her attention, she runs away. Ooh. So we are seeing a compass in the attic and a map in the maiden chest. That small key is in the big chest.
Nice. That's lucky.
Which means blind as our last item, and Relkin is going to have to go in with nothing but a Samaria.
That is a very good point. We still have no sword.
Actually, that's a good point, too. Item on blind technically will logically require the hammer, because the key logic will always expect you to use the keys in the worst possible way to make sure that you can access everything in the dungeon, including the boss.
Oh.
It was so close, and pause buffering to victory. There is our last item in Thieves Town, and our second crystal.
Yep.
See, that's good information to know, because that tells us that by the time we get to Thieves Town, the game might be expecting us to have the hammer.
Yeah, it's probably Sick Kid, possibly, or anywhere on the Smith's chain. Hype Cave.
It could even be right here in the brewery.
Could be. Vanilla hammer. Wow, that's rude.
We see Relkin setting up for just burning off all their magic. I don't remember seeing a mushroom.
Yeah, there was a mushroom in Super Metroid somewhere. I remember because its mushroominess was very, very, very bright red, and it was flashing.
So it was sportive obvious.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like it was at a Alpha Missiles in Blue Bryn, but I don't remember. I know it was on a Chozo statue. That's a lot of digs for red mail.
And Cassidy is making the lower Norfair check. Now with Plasma, this actually is a little bit safer than it would normally be if you're doing it this early. Screw Attack is going to give Relkin an easier time when he gets to it later, but this will be good information to have.
Yeah, it would be a little bit better with that Screw Attack that Relkin has, but still with Plasma Beam, you'll be all right.
Also, without the Charge Beam, Cassidy's only going to be able to use Super Missiles to fight Golden Torizo down here.
Power Bombs against the Gold Space Pirates will work as well.
Yeah, I think
usually you want Charge Plasma for that. But yeah, I think it's 2 or 3 Power Bombs per Space Pirate. Depends on whether or not you get the double hits on them, if they're close enough to the actual explosion center point of the Power Bomb. High jumpings.
So just more ball bombs out of the fake powder on Relkin's side.
Nice. That will help with some of the power bomb management. So maybe we'll see a couple fewer ship refills and stuff for Relkin.
There's our Sick Kid check. And just misses.
Nice. GT code is disabled. Yes, you cannot do it.
So I'm pretty sure I saw the Gold Torizo start to explode there right before we had a little frame cut out. Kaboom.
Good job. And there's
wow.
First one.
Get our first swingy stabby almost an hour and a half, and there's the speed booster.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's pretty great.
Right, now we see that Meyer is Bombos to enter. It is a pendant. We probably won't be going in there. It only has 2 items, unless we run out of things to look at, or we know that there's something on the pedestal. Too early to tell that for now. And as we see in chat, yeah, that speed booster locking the flute meant that access to lower Norfair and access to Mire, logically.
Yes, that's great.
And we're seeing the hook shot in our Mire shed.
Dee 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 dee.
So as we talked about earlier, you're going to mirror back into desert and have a look here, and then accidentally mirror back to the entrance, I guess. Not boots locked yet, but if the big key is not in this chest, we know we will need it to complete Desert Palace.
Oh boy.
Alright, we have a Pegasus Boots required seed. So that is another one of the items that our runners will be searching high and low for.
Hype cave coming up. We haven't seen this yet. Another 5 items. It could be some good progression.
Yeah, the
Or
area
it could
that
be a not hype cave.
is the area that runners have colloquially named the Hype Cave. Not quite as hype as it used to be back in the old days of the Link to the Past randomizer, but once in a while you're still going to see something you want. Well,
Yeah.
we probably didn't want to see that unless it ends up being our access to Turtle Rock as well.
Yep. I mean, I definitely like love and money and missiles and magical golden coins of fire.
Cassidy setting up for a Pillar Spark. Gets
Nice.
it. Beautiful.
That's always so nice to see. I can never get that charge.
The 2 times I've ever set up for it, I bonked on the ceiling.
Alright, Cassidy makes it through the worst room in the game, like it isn't the worst room in the game. And we are getting it first. Check. First chest check in Swamp by Relkin. No hammer, so he'll only be able to check one location.
We see Cassidy finding the magic cape in the Mickey Mouse room. That's actually a nice item to find as well, because that's a safety you can use on blind with that sword to make the fight a lot easier.
Yep, and we don't have to worry about Aga because we already have the flippers. So our Dark World access with mitts, flippers opens up pod, catfish, all of those on the east side of the world.
Having that hook shot too, you can go to all parts of East Death Mountain and Dark Death Mountain.
Yes.
The only thing you can't do is check out what's at Turtle Rock because you don't have a hammer. Really nice strat there by Cassidy. He's gone and shot the Red Key Hunters. While they were taking damage, they do not actually hit Samus. Just clip right through.
Yeah. It's a very nice way to use your iframes. Or the enemy's iframes in this instance.
So Relkin is going to go check out the front of Pod.
I mean, Mind of Me called it when she said Vanilla Hammer, so it's probably a good play.
We have a second sword in Sword of Shame, apparently, today.
Nice.
Nothing shameful about finding a Master Sword there.
Right. We're gonna have all swords in Lower Norfair.
That'd be a lot of swords. That's a fun echo glitch to see when it happens.
We are technically bow locked in pod, having picked up the big key on the left side. So you gotta go right side to get small keys to progress further.
I don't think I've ever seen first chest big key in pod.
It doesn't come up too often, but it's, yeah, it happens. Still no sword for Relkin. Just kind of walking through those berries.
Yeah, this farm that Cassidy's doing right now is a lot more forgiving if you have the grapple beam, because you can just shoot and gather without having to go anywhere in one spot. Looks like he's opting to go in with just 25 supers and 4 E-tanks.
Yeah, he's also got some reserves. At least one, maybe two. But he's pretty familiar with the Ridley fight. I commentated an SMZ3 solo run for Cassidy during Power Up with Pride a couple years ago. And he did a really good job. So I have no question in my mind that he'll be able to do this.
And no question in his mind either, as he's letting Ridley Pogo right up to the edge there. And Ridley should be dead at this point, just need to get picked up.
Alright, now I think he's in pickup mode. Oh no, no, no! What?
He's just barely not dead?
He might be. Wow. What a bully.
Now, we are seeing Cassidy use power bombs here. Ridley is the only major boss in Super Metroid that will take damage from power bombs.
There we go.
And down he goes. No, really close, but a win is a win in this case.
Ooh. PBs. That's all right to see. It can help with Crystal Flash if you are able to farm up some of the additional ammo from the little bugs here.
Yeah, it looked like Pod was just giving us a whole lot of nothing. We've seen all the dungeon items, so we know we have probably an item on Helmasaur King, but we cannot get to Helma without a hammer, and the hammer wasn't there. Off we go to somewhere else.
Where will he go?
Did we see the pyramid yet?
I don't think so. But I was curious if he might think heading towards Meridia, but it doesn't look like he's heading that direction. Cassidy being extra careful coming through the wastelands here. These Deskigas do a lot of damage to you, even with both suits. And he doesn't want to have to come back and fight Ridley again. If you get bullied by them, they can lower your health quite quickly.
So the item on our pyramid ledge was magic powder. That puts the magic bat back into logic, so we know that we can have regular access to those morph ball bombs. That's right, he didn't do the front of escape, did he?
No, he hasn't been back here. He did go backwards through the back of escape to the dark crossroom, so once we get to Zelda's chest, we'll probably see him save and quit. So there wasn't really anything that I recall that was here.
Yeah, it was a lot of dry. We see Cassidy having to be extremely careful with those red key hunters. Just 63 energy and 1 reserve. They'll do 50 damage if they so much as touch you. We have literacy in the Fireflies room.
All right. That opens up a couple more checks, the Ether tablet and Bombo's tablet, as well as being able to look and see what's on that pedestal. The boots are on pedestal. Boo, no boots.
Get your tomato emojis out.
Yeah, at least Hammer can't be on pedestal.
Yeah.
That's definitely a good thing. Right. Oh yeah, Mirror. That's right. He hasn't. Okay. Yep. Not a save and quit. True.
And a whole lot of nothing in the escape from Ridley's lair. So we have a book to show for our efforts here.
Yep. Master Sword book. A couple different things that we found that are pretty nice. Who doesn't love a hook shot? And the 3rd out of 4 bosses for Super Metroid. Only one boss remaining is Dragon.
Yeah, the hookshot gives us all of East Death Mountain, and there's a sword on the mushroom.
That's 3. Ooh. All right, so we've seen up to Tempered now. All swords? Did I miss one?
The 4th sword was where? Library, that's right.
Wow. I completely forgot about it because we left it. And I knew we didn't have a sword, but we'd already done all those checks. Shoot. Silly boots.
So Relkin's going to be happy when they check Catfish. They will get their plasma beam. And Cassie's going to give us a look at the rest of the items in Upper Norfair.
All right, plasma beam, and I'm going to be pulling out the waterfall fairy checks here. I'll be curious to see if Relkin picks up a free potion. Why not, right?
Didn't he just buy a green potion in the potion shop?
That's right, he did, because he turned into mushroom. Okay.
So Cassidy has one more bottle than he does. But
All right, so I think we're gonna see a couple checks. Graveyard checks, a graveyard ledge. Oh no, taking the portal? I'm wrong. Oh, right. Meridia it is. Nice. I forget sometimes in the Dark World that the platform to get back out of the water in the Dark World is not there on the left side of the...
Yeah, that used to throw me off a lot when I was younger.
Same, yeah.
It's like, okay, so in the light world, there's a bridge here, and then there's a platform you can climb back out of the water. Why isn't there one in the dark world? How am I supposed to get over there? The game pushes you into well, it's East Dark World. It pushes you into Pod to get your hammer. I had the East part right, in some respect.
Yep, yep.
Right, Relkin is going to have a very free fight against Dragon with that full beam combo and X-ray scope in hand.
Microwave shrimp never really sounds all that appetizing, but I know how good you feel when you get it. So, hey!
And there's our third medallion, so we will not be seeing a cookie hunt today.
Nope. We don't really care what's at Turtle Rock because we've got them all anyways. ₹300 and a missile in the first 2 chests of Paradox Cave.
I'm here thinking we have to see our boots sometime here.
Right? Not in Paradox. Maybe behind Dragon? Wow, that was a perfect microwave. First try, one and done. It's like he's done it before.
Just another pile of rupees behind the shrimp.
Okay, couple more locations. Pretty much just plasma. Still don't have grapple for logical shack tool access, but we do have the plasma beam location. All right, Super Bunny Cave is a heart container and a super missile. Do you think that we'll see Relkin head to Lower Norfair after this?
It wouldn't surprise me. He doesn't have a lot we can tackle in Link to the Past as of right now.
Would you go directly to Lower Norfair and skip the Upper Norfair checks, or would you just kind of do that on the way through?
You know, the Upper Norfair checks came in early when we found that space jump, but so far what we've seen, like, it didn't really have a lot to pay out. So what we'll probably see, a lot of runners will try to do a lot of your Bubble Mountain checks on your way out of Lower Norfair, especially if you're as well equipped as Relkin is right now.
Mm-hmm. So Relkin could go through Ice Beam, Crumble Tower. Oh, he doesn't have... Yeah, he can't actually go to Crocomire that way.
No, because Speed Booster was on the Screw Attack item.
Yep. Alright. Interesting.
And looked like a lot of nothing in Hookshot Cave as well.
Yeah. Are we not going to get a peek at the Turtle Rock Medallion? Or... Oh, it was Ether. Okay, I missed that. Darn.
We are going to get a peek at the Ether Tablet.
Yeah, just a piece of heart at Plasma Beam. So nothing there.
It wouldn't surprise me to see Cassidy go up and actually take down Moldorm before checking Spike Cave also.
Cassidy did skip Spiral. Oh boy. I feel like I tend to do that a lot. I always plan to go from Hookshot over to Paradox and then go do Hera and then go back and do Spiral Cave, and I always forget after I'm done with Hera to go do Spiral Cave. It happens. I know it does, so it's an easy mistake to make.
Yeah, it's one check. It's still a check that could actually make a big difference later on.
Yeah.
Usually we have nicer routing for it. I mean, it could have been... What Cassie decided to do is they put a mirror portal in front of Paradox Cave and then did all the Dark World checks and just completely missed it.
But then they mirrored on the other side of the bridge from the Dark World so that they could go do the Ether tablet check, and they never went back to go do Spiral Cave because they
The
don't
other
have
thing
camera.
I find... Right,
So
the other
they'd
thing
have
I
to go
find
all the way
curious
back around.
is they didn't go up to take down the rest of Hera either. Now that they have a sword, it's free.
Yeah. But a lot of people will actually save just Moldorm until the very, very, very last so they can get the crystal, go out of Hera, mirror, and instantly be in front of GT. That would be their 7th crystal pickup, would be Hera at that point. Yeah, and as Mind of Me said, there's no items left in Hera, so you really only have to go back there to pick up the crystal. Unless there's something at Pyramid Fairy, which is a chance in this scene.
Which is a please no.
Yeah. Please. Boots are at Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, don't even say that.
I mean, that's better than pedestal.
Yeah, and the boots can still be on the pedestal too. That's the scary part.
Yep. Yep.
So you see our tracker in chat letting us know what we still have that we haven't seen all checks yet. We haven't seen the Bombos tablet that Cassidy can check. We haven't seen the Waterway check. We haven't seen either of our runners dip into Ice Palace yet.
Yep. Obviously, without access to Shack Tool, logically with Grapple, we have that check remaining if that item appears. Grapple at Waterway, leading to something for boots. No, stop.
Yeah, so far this seed's been, it hasn't really been relative, it started out relatively linear, and it really kind of opened up when we got both of our suits with a Camfly item.
Yeah.
But now it's just kind of leading us into some strung along path of where are we supposed to go.
Yeah, it's almost coming down to like a four-way funnel that then comes down to like 2, and then finally you're actually at the path of go mode. And it's hard to know which tube do you want to go down to start. But it doesn't matter. You have to go through all of them anyways.
So we have Relkin doing their screw attack check with Golden Terizo, and again, they're going to be able to just stand there and charge beam the heck out of that robot. Cassidy still has not dipped Meridia.
No. I don't I don't know. I've been thinking it the whole time. I'm like, that's both rods. That's that's a big deal, but I would have thought as soon as he got Speed Booster that would have been where he went, but I was wrong. Relkin doesn't want to wait to pick up that Master Sword.
Relkin wants to use the sword on Gold Terizo.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's sharp enough to cut through the armor.
Nope, not quite.
Anytime when you have charged plasma like that, if he jumps up or you're crouched down, you can double hit him. It is so much quicker. If I'm not mistaken, you can only get 2 hits in succession on Gold Chorizo, so microwaving doesn't actually do any more than double hitting.
Yeah. The iframe positioning for Gold Chorizo is a little bit different in the fact that it doesn't reset at the same. I don't know. Something about the hitbox and iframes. That's all I know. So you got to do single shots, can't microwave. Hey. Or super missiles.
All right, which one's saying hi?
Echo is here because Booster just left because I accidentally dropped my phone on my desk and it scared the living daylights out of Booster, and I guess she had to leave.
Aw. Yeah, and I'm seeing that too, and I think... Did he just take a refill? Oh, he's getting the flute. So he can go back anytime he wants to the Meyer area.
Yeah, that's not a terrible idea.
And Cassidy takes a death and blind.
Yikes.
Cassidy, you have the cape.
I mean, could have been... I was a little fixated on the Super Metroid side there for a second. So whether or not it's like a mixture of low health going into the fight, getting off script in air quotes there, and then just getting bullied by the fireballs could be anything.
All right, blind cooperating a little bit nicer this time around.
Yeah, got it.
All right, so Relkin has the flute. That is going to give him a little bit easier maneuverability from area to area in Link to the Past. Of course, it's not going to do much for our Dark World movement because we don't have a hammer. And half of those portals require one.
We'll see here if Cassidy remembers to mirror and grab the sword from the library.
You need boots to do that.
Oh, right. Right.
Yeah, it's one of those items that we're still looking for. So Cassie's digging for some old clothes.
So many digs. Oh, wow.
It's like 26 or something like that. Yikes.
All right. Relkin's playing a little bit of catch up through some of these Link to the Past dungeons, but I'm curious who's going to end up finding the next progression first, and is it going to be Boots or Hammer?
Yeah, Relkin's about to get the bad news that you will need Boots to complete Desert Palace, so that's an in and out check for him.
Yeah.
He could take the moment if he's here. He's either going to check out Misery Mire, or he's going to go right into Lower Norfair.
Yep, could be a quick dip into Mire and then pop him back out. It's not too bad of an idea. You're already here. You have the ability to full clear if you absolutely need to. And it could just be, the Boots or Hammer are right here, and the first chest even. And that dip, ooh, not quite tantalizing enough. It's 2 items. It can be a really quick check. I would do it.
Yeah, the Misery Mire isn't very kind in terms of its item layout. There are 3 keys, there are 3 dungeon items, and then, of course, there are 2 regular items that you could find.
Yeah. I just have a feeling that, yeah, that was... Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I would have liked at least to have a look in the front. Now, Relkin already did the Smith chain, too. So when they find their book down here, they're going to probably be thinking about tablets.
Cassidy going for... Oh, he hasn't done bottle post turn-in yet. Okay, okay.
Yeah, what Relkin's doing does make sense. As our tracker pointed out, there are a lot of items between Lower Norfair and Bubble Mountain that Relkin has not yet looked at. Yeah. We know that our progression isn't here, but he doesn't. So in his head, this is a good play. And it is.
Yes, definitely. I just tend to do everything all the time anyway, so I'd be like, well, I can full clear Mire. I'm here. I may as well do it. So it's not like I'm saying that I would do it because I think it's a better play. I'm just saying that like the way that I play and how I think I would definitely do it.
And yeah, I'm thinking that too. We're thinking Cassidy probably just forgot about that bottle turn-in and doubled back for it while he was in the area.
Yep.
So we do know Relkin has 1 sword up on Cassidy, getting the Tempered Sword out of PBs of Shame.
He'll get to that though, so he will not be too far behind. Or he'll find boots first and he'll grab it from the library and be just great. Alright, another reserve.
That is right. Without the Fire Rod, we cannot see Ice Palace. Or the Bombos.
He's got... I was about to say, he's got Bombos, he just used it. Oh, grapple.
Oh no, that's not one of the items we wanted to see.
Wow. It's gonna be book in the Firefly room to Bombos tablet to get grappled, to then go to Shack Tool.
Shack Tool could have the could have the boots or the hammer.
Yeah. Oh man. It was a good relief fight by Relkin. It was very well done. He had quite a bit more ammo that he used.
Cassidy finding out that this cave is not quite living up to its namesake today.
No,
although that Bombos does give them access to Ice Palace now.
Yes. So, having gotten that grapple, I'm wondering maybe... Oh, is Cassidy going to do the single chest check? And he is. All right. All right, both of our runners are doing the single chest check in Swamp Palace, so that's interesting. I'm curious if having that grapple is now going to like incentivize Cassidy to head towards Meridia. He's had access to it for quite a while. We know there's some good stuff there, so maybe.
Meridia is a play. It has stuff that we will need to complete the game.
Yep. And he has access to do it back to front to back. He can do it all. So whether or not he wants to route it in from the Dark World here, or if he wants to head in through the front door. But he is running out of locations. Of course, Ice Palace just opened up, as you said. But he's had access to Meridia for quite a while.
Curious going up to the mountain here. This could be the Meridia play from the front.
Yeah, from north. Very, very likely. Looks like it.
I actually like this routing call with the speed booster because you can literally clear Meridia front to back and not miss a thing.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so for Relkin, having picked up a couple more things here, does he... What do you think he's going to chase harder? The hook shot from the Meyer shed, or something through to allow him to check book locations?
I mean, he just got the book, so it's probably in his head. But the hook shot opens up so much on the mountain, so I'm thinking that he's probably going to go check all those.
He's also got the temporary, or the super convenient access portal to Death Mountain from here in Norfair. So
you can just go right across and get those all out of the way.
he can also go on... No... I was going to say he can go near Turtle Rock, but he doesn't have Hammer yet. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, Hammer's one of those things we're looking for.
Oh boy.
Cassidy's going to get their flute in just a moment, and they're going to be happy to see it.
I tend to forget the Turtle Rock door access requirement with Hammer, because you don't actually need Hammer inside of it. So I always forget.
Yeah, with that screw attack, that room's not fun. With the Booyons just jumping up in your way, but little ice plasma is going to be a nice thing to find. Yeah, while not progression, the flute does allow for some good fast travel.
Yeah, most of the stuff behind flute, outside of just movement, he's completed. Unless there's something in Meyer. And Relkin is finished up with Upper Norfair. I think he's skipping Croc.
Did he check the ice beam location yet? Because he could route it that way.
No, I don't think he has. Nope, he has not. You're right.
And Cassidy, nice. Looks like they're going for Waterway.
Nice. That's a good check. We have been talking about that for a while.
And a nice speedball through here with a speed keep to boot.
Yeah, the green hopper just a little bit short of actually bumping right into him. That would have been pretty great. Yeah, definitely want to get this one waterway check out of the way in case it is the item that you're looking for. Then you can kind of go mode once you... I mean, obviously we know he would be in go mode with the rods in Meridia.
Well, now, how did he manage that one? Did he jump?
You get a nice spin jump, yeah.
I like that Shine Spark, though. And somehow their display is also showing a 3-digit super missile count.
Interesting, you are right.
Alright, so our tracker doing a very good job behind the scenes, minded me, thank you very much, saying we have Shack Tool, Green Pendant Ice Palace, Pendant Mire, the back of Skullwoods, and Spiral Cave that we haven't looked at yet, and that is about it.
So is it 810 power bombs or 28 super missiles?
I believe it's 028 super missiles, and I haven't actually seen the game ever do that. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering what caused it to go into 3-digit mode.
Don't know.
I know the Varia randomizer just added support for triple-digit super missiles in one of their more recent updates, but is something you're not telling us, Total?
I wouldn't mind to have 100 super missiles.
You know, barcode 5 super missiles going into the Mother Brain fight? Alright, so here is our play into Meridia from Cassidy, and he's going to find a lot of nothing in some of the easier checks. What we want to see is him go into the right sandpit to find his fire rock.
Yes, and also to the wishing well, or the fountain, or the
watering
there's
hole?
8 different names for it. Yeah, that too. Yep. To get his ice rod for Turtle Rock as well. Gotta get them both. Gotta have them.
Now, if he finds both of these and actually finds the hammer, we could see him do the Turtle Rock play right out of Meridia.
Yeah, pretty much. He knows that there's nothing else in Eastern. Hera. Desert, he knows he can't check until he finds boots. So it could either be Swamp Palace from the back Meridia portal, or just heading straight to Turtle Rock from Norfair. Because Hammer opens up both of those a lot better than Boots with just desert, pretty much.
Yeah, we've already seen one of the 2 items out of Desert. It was just 10 arrows, so that means there's only 1 item left. It could be on Lamelos, but it also could be just on the right side there.
Alright, so we may see a spiral check from Relkin. Maybe. I'll have to see what he does when he comes back.
I think he's going to go get Ether.
Mm-hmm. But he left his mirror on this side of the bridge. When Cassidy did it, he mirrored over on the left side of the bridge. So I think that Relkin is going to be thinking about heading back to check Spiral Cave. We'll see.
It's raining trees over the Ether tablet.
Or toothpicks.
Actually, he's opting to go ahead and take care of Hera while he's here. And that's honestly not a bad thing either, because you can also do Turtle Rock last and just come right over, depending on how late we see our hammer.
Yep. Nice Hera pot. It's very well done.
Yeah, that takes out a little bit of the time to come back all the way up here the normal way.
And we got sand pits for Cassidy now, starting with the left side, it looks like. I don't think there was there anything on the left side, or was it right side?
Don't think left side
Pretty
had
sure it
anything
was
of
right.
no.
Yeah. So he'll probably reset after seeing the items here, and then we'll see him head towards the shack tool judge. Yeah.
Alright, so if you blinked, you missed it. Relkin took very good care of Moldorm. And that is our third crystal, over 2.25 hours in here.
Alright, he's heading back. Spiral Cave. Okay, so we're getting 2 checks possibly here with Spiral Cave and Shack Tool out of the way.
Oh, he sees that fire rod, he knows he's not resetting.
Yep.
The slow slog through Spiral Cave without boots. If these are boots at the bottom here, they are not. They are not boots, but they are blueberries.
Alright, Shack Tool.
Let's see some Shack Tool hype in the chat. Already saw Mind of Me give us a little taste of it earlier. Hey, look at this. Relkin has decided to take the dip into Pendant Mire.
Yeah, you can full clear Pendant Mire over Ice Palace, which would require the hammer. So there's a little bit of I could see that working. All right, Shack Tool's almost done.
So no matter what he finds here, he's probably not going to reset out. I'm going to see the use of a power bomb. And it's half magic.
Ooh. Yeah, I'd probably go pick that up.
Yeah, I would say that's not what we're looking for, but it is definitely worth the price of doing business.
Yeah, he's got a lot of Link to the Past dungeons to still clear, so it'd be nice to have that for the finish. Alright, so pendant dungeons are going to be where our items are today, it seems.
The question is whether or not our progression is hiding out in the pendant dungeons, or if it's waiting behind, clearing all 3.
Why didn't anybody check the pedestal yet?
I mean, there was no clean way to route that in at the time. We didn't have a fire rod that early, so we had no reason to do it. And we didn't have a book either.
I know, but I mean, both Relkin and Cassidy have been back to the village to activate their flutes. Well, okay, Cassidy hasn't quite made it back to activate flute yet, but they've both been in the village. They could have just popped up into the forest real quick, took a peek.
And yeah, our tracker is reminding us the only item that can logically be on the pedestal right now are the boots.
Yep.
Which means we'll find the hammer along the way. Hammer can't be on pedestal because you need it to get to Cold Stirrer in Pendant Ice Palace.
Yep. And it can't be at Pyramid Fairy because you need it for Swamp Palace.
It is not in Misery Mire. So we're going to see relkin just nope out of here real quick. Where do we figure he might be going next?
It's gotta be ice.
No, he's going for the Skull Woods play.
Pedestal. Nice. Oh, this will be so good. Skullwoods will get you that green pendant, so there's an extra item there, of course.
Green Pendant, we're going through this again. Green Pendant was an Ice Palace.
Oh, no!
Remember, it's moth bits on
the bug bits on, yeah, yep. Man.
That's why there's two of us, to keep each other sane.
It's true.
Seriously, a lot of thanks to Ms. Metroid for joining me for this, because it looked like it was going to be me and myself.
Yeah, of course. It's no problem. Had a quick jump in. I was a little bit late. Sorry. I'm glad that the racers actually were starting a little late. That made me feel better.
We still have one item left to find in Skullwoods, right?
I don't... Yeah. So it's 2 more items. No, it's not a green pendant, Tess. Ah. I really love to use silver arrows against the Gibdos in these rooms to save on magic. I usually have a lot of arrows. Anyway, so... Oh, how lucky with that big magic drop.
He gets bailed out with a full magic decanter. I do like using ether. I also like using the silver arrows. Of course, you don't know you're getting full magic back when you do that.
Yeah, there's... the Gibdos, I think, inherently always have a high chance to drop magic. Question mark? Or maybe that's just NMG. I'm not sure.
Moth with a tempered sword. Pretty much a safe fight as long as you stay out of harm's way. With the red mail, you can run into the moth to save points from the spikes. By the time we're done talking about it, the moth is dead. And has the hammer.
Oh, wow. Wow. Fortunately, Cassidy did just get the fire rod, so maybe still gonna go towards something like that, because he's got the access to check the back, plus pedestal.
Now hold your breath, because if the boots are on pedestal, not only was that Maltula fight required, but we're going to see Oops All Dungeons.
Big bada boom.
So probably a power bomb?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright people, Pet is dead, move along.
All right. Well, which of our dungeons has the boots?
Yeah, that placement's not good news for Cassidy unless they go straight to Skullwoods out of Meridia.
Yeah, that's my hope. Having gotten that fire rod be the driving point there. Still got a couple more checks. He'll check plasma beam before leaving.
It's kind of rude though. Put it on a pendant dungeon boss. Yeehaw.
Yeah, especially like Mire or Skullwoods, which really only have 2 items. So then I guess it worked out because you would need hammer for Ice Palace, so you kind of get pushed away from that a little. Man, I don't like boots mode. I want to go fast. I want boots early.
Yeah, boots are nice just to go. Everywhere.
Okay, so Cassidy took the portal. Oh, maybe just as a save point. I don't know.
What I'm thinking he's doing is he took the portal to just do a progress save, jumped back in,
Yeah,
and if he doesn't like what he finds in plasma, which he won't, he's going to reset back to the ship.
that's good. That's good. So that save there from the game transition will make it so that his progress with everything up to Dragon was saved once he went back into Link to the Past. Now he'll come back and then, like you said, when or if he resets, it'll be back to the beginning of the game. And then from there he can... Where would he go? I hope to Skull Woods with the Fire Rod, but...
You would hope that he chases the Fire Rod before he chases a hammerless Ice Palace, because we know that's not the answer. And he had Bombos long before we found the Fire Rod, so that might have been something he was already thinking, I probably don't want to do that.
Yep.
There's the reset. Cassidy will find himself at the top of Criteria, standing on the ship.
All right. So the question now stands for both runners. Having finished Pod, as Mind and Me pointed out, probably we'll head to Swamp. And then we'll have to do some overworld checks or head towards Turtle Rock. Search for the boots goes on for Relkin. Cassidy here will make a play either towards Fire Rod. With the save and quit, he's probably going to go to Sank so he can activate Flute. And then hopefully while he's there, head straight into the Dark World and go to Skull Woods. So no Swamp Palace for Relkin.
Yeah, it looks like instead he's opting to go right into Turtle Rock. I don't know if I like this from a routing standpoint. We know that Turtle Rock is full clear. It's not going to be a hard dungeon to get through. We have 12 hearts, red mail, tempered sword, both rods. Yeah, to answer chat, the hammer was on Mothula.
Yep. So we are Ped free, Aga free. Technically could have been Shaktul free for that half magic that isn't required. But yeah, just nothing too trolly. Just pending dungeons.
So it's one thing that... Oh, Cassidy, don't do it. No, Cassidy, don't do it! The only thing I think that would bail Cassidy out here would be finding the boots.
Yeah. That's... Yep. All right. That at least helps a little bit with routing. And as Mind of Me points out, we do have Icebreaker to consider. Cassidy's not doing Icebreaker. Interesting. All right.
We see our first item in Turtle Rock was just a missile pack, so Relkin, already knowing that they're going to have to full clear anyway, is going to have to go deeper to see if it's here or not. I don't like this room.
No, me either. The chain chomps, even with red mail, can be super brutal. Aw, no keys? Okay.
Alright, so we know that Cassidy, he's going to be able to check this chest and the Vanilla Big Key location, but not the Hammerlock chest in the center. Wait, no, we can't go up there without doing Icebreaker. Never mind.
Relkin, come back.
Relkin.
Alright, so we haven't missed much. Just a couple enemy rooms. The lava chest here in Turtle Rock. It's the big key, vanilla.
Yeah, kind of had to be at that point. Cassidy going straight down, and then now gonna go check the iced tea room location.
Junior Dad in chat saying vanilla boots would be even better.
Oh.
And I didn't even consider that.
So for those of us who might forget, if it's been any number of years since the last time you played Vanilla Link to the Past, Sarashula gives you boots when you turn in the green pendant. Where's our green pendant?
Ice Palace. I was really tempted to say green pendant Skull Woods, but I didn't.
I saw Cassidy was setting up so that he could actually bomb jump the pit, but I'm like, you can just block push or hook push these. Or, you know. And that's gonna hurt for time, because now we have to go all the way back around.
Yep. It's a really rough one.
Yeah, that's not one. You get 2 chances at it, and if you miss it, you miss it. That hurts. Definitely prefer that room when you have boots.
Yes.
So we are Laser Bridge and Trinex. You figure he's going to go right here and pick up this full magic container. No, he's going to leave it. Just the boomerang in the big chest of Ice Palace. So it's either Hammerlocked or it's not here.
Yep. And we've seen every item in Super Metroid, so it has to be behind Hammer.
Oh, the
and he's
Spazer.
going to Meyer. That's rough. And of course, the small key is the last chest on Laser Bridge. That was some really, really super excellent laser skipping by Relkin, by the way. I low-key was just thinking it in my brain, but that was very well done.
Super clean. It's almost like Matrix dodging. Alright, so we are going to see Relkin take on Trinex. You do need both rods to beat up Trinex. Don't think otherwise. And with the Tempered Sword, this is just going to be 2 cycles on each head. Outside of Blind, this is the most scripted fight in the entire game, I would think. Then maybe Armos, too. Really nice spin double right off the bat, and then just like that, Trinex taken care of very nicely by Relkin. Alright, so you have to think Relkin's probably going to check Spike Cave. And then you hope that he says Swamp Palace before thinking about Pendant Ice. And, honestly, that Swamp is one of the higher concentrations of items in that part of the world anyway. Yeah, that's true. Swamp is also our other 5/6. So once we have that done, we'll need to see what's hiding behind the Pyramid Fair if we haven't already seen our boots. And it is not in Spike Cave, just another 50 rupees, so off Relkin will go. I'm assuming they're going to start at the house. They are. He is heading into the Swamp Palace.
Is this the swamp play?
This is the Swamp play. Just found 50 rupees in Spike Cave, so that can be crossed off of our ever-shortening list here.
Oh yeah, could be the Bombos check first. No.
I would hope not. He's going to chase the hammer before he thinks about the book. This is a higher density of locations. The hammer is progression. You'd need the dungeon anyway. Might as well. Now, if they're not here, which means that they would have to be locked in Ice Palace behind that hammer, that would mean if he goes to check the Bombos tablet, he could get led astray about that grapple beam.
Yep. Okay, this, I hope, is the Skullwoods play. Fingers crossed that he's thinking about that. It's so crazy to me how few actual dungeons Cassidy has completed, but he knows there's nothing else in Eastern. He knows there's nothing else in Hera. He can't finish Pod or Desert, Swamp Palace, or Turtle Rock. So it doesn't look like he has very much done in the way of progression, but he's literally locked behind Hammer or just not going to those dungeons yet because he knows that what he's looking for is not there. So he's not making it a priority. So this is a little bit closer than it actually may seem to anybody who's just coming into the stream. Yeah, Cassidy has a little bit more progression than it might appear.
Yeah, for all those dungeons that he's already dipped into, he's going to be able to go back into them, go straight to the boss and take them out.
Yep, just back to back to back. It'll be quite quick, but it does probably seem like he hasn't done very much, so...
Relkin opting to go straight to the back.
Yeah, when we do know that one of the first items opened, that first check was already done, then there's a good chance that you could have something on the left side still.
Well, there it is.
Oh, heck.
And that means at 2 hours, 41 minutes, and 30 seconds, Relkin has officially entered Go mode. So much shock from finding the boots that we didn't get to talk about the diver down strat.
I don't know very much about diver down or the easiest way to explain it, so that would have been something great for you to mention.
So diver down is easy. If you have a can of Samaria, you can literally just dive in, jump back out with the right inputs. You'll clip behind the block and rail clip. There is a setup for bombs, but it's, again, a little bit more precise.
Yeah, and that's with having the block of Cane of Samaria up on the platform, so you have that collision between you, the block, and the rail, right?
Yep.
Alright, Cassidy picks up the charge and leaves. Yeah, we got it. Hammer, charge, we're good.
Still gonna check the pedestal in case boots happen to be there. We know they're not.
And where was the ether medallion that Cassidy doesn't have? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Cool.
There's been some kind of a seed if you got bosses in both games gating required progression.
Yes. Zero Wag, Big Bada Boom is a power bomb pack. Both of our runners have all 3 medallions, so it's not a medallion.
Cassidy loses the monkey. I get hit by that one more often than not. Relkin gets their vanilla big key. They are going straight to Lamolus.
Alright, so this is kind of Cassidy's way of probably doing a cleanup sweep. I assume once he finishes pod, he'll mirror and do Eastern, and then probably mirror back again and do Swamp Palace, and then head up and do Turtle Rock and Hera, hoping to find the boots on the way to get Desert Palace eventually.
It's a fair amount of cleanup to do. He will find the boots in the back of Swamp Palace, but at that point, Relkin's probably already going to be climbing the tower.
Yep.
Just facing the wrong direction for that last arrow, but he gets it on the third.
And that is crystal number 7 for Relkin. We'll be heading up to the Death Mountain area to head over to GT. So if we want to start getting some guesses in chat for the big key guessing game.
Right. As soon as we start going up Ganon's Tower, we know we need one thing and one thing only to get to the top, and that, well, no, you need 2 keys.
Yeah.
But you do need... I should be the one to... in a race, I actually did go up the tower without a key. I felt real bad when I got to the pre-Moldorm door. But anywhere between check number 1 and number 22 is going to be our Ganon's Tower big key if you would like to leave a guess in chat before Relkin makes their way up to the door. Do you have a number you like, Tess?
Yeah, I just put it in chat. Is chest number 9, but most specifically the fire snake room that you have to hook, like spawn a chest and then hook shot across. That's the one I usually pick.
I tend to go across the board a little bit. I usually like around the 16, 17 area, but I would prefer it to be kind of nice to our runners. I'm going to say it's going to be at 12 today.
Nice. That's good. That's rando room or somewhere close to that if you go right side first.
More often than not, it's going to be rando room, or if you go full left first, it's going to be on Ice Armos, I think, near Vanilla. I don't know. Don't ask me to do math.
I just try to think of locations, and then I don't math very well either.
I have a friend who will almost always say tile room Kappa.
Yep. Sounds about right.
I go, so you mean 22 then? First check, just a piece of heart. Second check. There. Well, okay then.
Well.
So Relkin go down the left side here, look at whatever items on Bob Torch, scoff at it. And in the next room, down in the bottom right corner is a key, and we're going to grab that, and we're going straight up the tower.
See you later.
Yeah, stump with a guess of 5, you are the closest by a sizable long shot. 5 is over twice, too. I said I wasn't going to do math. No, actually, Relkin already has 11 or 12 E-tanks. Trust me, they don't need that one.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Cassie's making his way through pod. I think.
Yeah, he already killed
Heliosaur,
so gonna be looking for them boots. I guess if you pick up an E-tank in GT or something like that, it makes it so you don't have to refill your health at the ship. And both of the runners have full wave beam combos and stuff, so.
Yeah, so ammo is really not too much of a consideration at this point. They can literally just shoot Mother Brain 20 times. You just need enough missiles to be able to break the glass and finish her off in phase 1. Very good one cycle by Relkin on Lammelus too.
Yep, that's what he was aiming for the first time, but some of those patterns were a little wonky.
So if you go straight to Lanmo 2, that they already have a set pattern that they're going to spawn in, if you actually powder that bunny beam in the previous room, it resets their RNG. So you can get some pretty wild stuff, which is why you might see a lot of runners opt to skip that.
I always take it. Well, pretty much always. I feel like I only don't take it if I don't have powder.
Right now, one of these two Helmosaurs is going to drop our other acquired key here. It'll be that second one, because that's a key door. And in this last room before we fight Moldorm 2, that's a key door, and that's the one that made me cry.
Oh no, why?
I only came up the tower with no keys. In a race, I had to go up the tower twice.
Oh wow. I think we've actually talked about this before, and I said that I've mirrored without killing the mini Helmosaur
yeah.
because I forgot that they dropped a key. And then I remembered. And I was really
we were discussing it in your chat one night.
Yeah.
No, that's never a good feeling. So it's always a heads-up play to make sure you have one key when you go up the tower. You only need 2. You're going to find like 5 if you check every chest, but...
Yeah.
We have a little visit from our friend the Geometry Wizard. Oh, that was a beautiful pattern setup for a triple.
Ooh. That's real close there.
Yeah, if that wasn't a blue ball that the actual Aga threw out there, Relkin probably would have had a 1-3-2.
Yep. Yep. All right. Cassidy did finish up with Quad and is now finishing up Eastern. Hopefully from there he will head towards Swamp Palace and be able to pick up the boots.
Alright, Tempered Sword here. That first phase isn't going to take too long. Oh, that's a good setup. So we're already seeing Ganon in phase 2. And already in phase 3. Again, beautiful setup with the Tempered Sword. It would have been 12 regular strikes or 6 spins.
Yep.
Right up against the wall like that, 6 spins was an easy task. Is this a setup for a triple? 1, 2. That is a triple. Beautiful
Wow.
job by Vulcan there.
That was crazy.
Let's see some single G's in chat for Relkin taking Ganon down just before 3 hours. And even if he had
Plenty of
picked up
ammo.
he'd only been at 13.
Oh, it's so close. All right, Cassidy is in Swamp Palace. So this will be really, really good for him because now he'll just be able to finish up Desert and then Turtle Rock and Hera. So his routing after getting that hammer worked out pretty well.
Almost wonder if he's going to go left side first or if he's going to go straight to the back.
That's a good question. I would think he'd go straight back. But I've been wrong before.
See Relkin making very good quick work of these Metroid rooms.
Yep. One more to go. Cassidy's heading to the back.
And he is going to be handsomely rewarded.
Yeah, he's also going to be doing diver down here too.
Curious as to which setup he's going to use. Probably the cane. The cane's the easier one to set up, especially on that right-hand side. Oh, he's going for the bomb strap.
Ooh.
So this is a pixel-perfect bomb jump like many things. You get pushed behind the rail and right down, and there are the boots. Cassidy is now in go mode.
Nice.
Relkin opting to do baby skip skip. Taking as much damage as I can with no suits on. He is going to just have a very swift drain scene here. So we see Cassidy only has Master Sword, so he is having to do spins with the hookshot, which allows you to hit 2 at a time, unless you accidentally poke one.
Switching to silvers.
One shot, one
Getting
kill.
a nice setup. Nice.
We see Relkin is going for the Ice Zeb skip. Having a little bit of trouble with it. Just the first Rinka there. Oh, he was in it, and then he just got deboosted out of it again.
This is another one of those things that I don't know how to set it up or explain.
So when you freeze that Rinka on its spawn point, you can take damage, and because it's halfway in the wall, the game will place you on top of the Rinka. With a well-placed spin jump, you can actually clip right through the Zebetite. The way the game was programmed, the Super Nintendo cartridge can only load one Zebetite at a time in memory for the size of the room. So if the first one doesn't die, the one behind it never spawns, etc. Or, as Shy Guy says, it works because black magic.
But he did get it on his first try. GG's. Broken.
One try. Well done.
Uh-huh. Alright, Cassidy now with boots in hand after finishing up Swamp Palace, heading into Desert. And then we'll probably see them go beeline straight to Turtle Rock and Hera and then be done. The dungeons, of course, I mean, they still gotta go to Ganon's Tower and defeat Mother Brain and stuff, sorry.
We got a little charge beam action. This is going to be 20 shots for Relkin on Mother Brain 2. With the full beam combo doing 900 damage. Mother Brain, like Ridley, has 18,000 hit points.
Wow. They have the same amount?
Yeah. The only difference is Ridley takes double damage from supers.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Mother Brain should feel cheated. She should have 20,000 instead of 18,000. Come on.
So what we're seeing Relkin do here is they're setting up for the stand-up glitch. So if you have a certain amount of energy going into that rainbow phase at the end of Mother Brain 2, you can stand back up, damage yourself down to less than an E-tank, and the cutscene happens. Now, if you stay airborne like Relkin is doing right now, you can actually stand up and move around during the baby phase.
Yeah, just be careful once the Metroid attaches to you to not jump too high, because the baby Metroid will get stuck on the ceiling. And don't be too close to Mother Brain that she can't actually damage the baby Metroid. There's a couple things you want to be careful of.
Relkin getting that second mid-air check to see if they're down in the hurting position. And now they get to freely move and shoot these shots right into the currently dormant Mother Brain 3. Now, Hyper Beam does an exact 1,000 points of damage. So what we see here is taking a bit of time out of that last point of the fight by having the full beam combo do a little bit of the work for us. No issues with the baby. And the Zebesian revenge tour of Samus begins now.
Nice. Alright, Cassidy's finished up with Desert Palace. Going to be heading on his way up to finish Turtle Rock, Tower of Hera, and then head into GT.
As we finish Link to the Past first, that means Relkin has a normalized escape sequence. They have 3 minutes to get a heck out of Dodge.
What is a heck, and where is Dodge that it needs to get out of it?
I think Dodge is somewhere in Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Alright, Cassidy opening up their Turtle Rock. And Relkin having absolutely no problem with this harder part of the escape sequence. Gets the vertical shaft spark. Alright everybody, let's see some GGs in chat with Relkin finishing first with an official SRL time of 3 hours, 4 minutes, and 37 seconds.
GG's to Relkin. Well done. And Cassidy did forfeit shortly after Relkin finished. So GG's in chat to both Relkin and cassidymoen. Relkin will be joining shortly for an interview.
Yeah, make sure you give both of these runners a follow. They put on a good show for us here today.
Hello, Relkin. GG's and welcome.
Hi there, GG's.
Yeah, GG's, Relkin. What did you think about that one? It seemed to... It opened up a little bit after it was kind of linear early, and then it really just kind of funneled out until eventually you found what you were looking for.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I was very lucky to just decide to farm a bit and or go to Agina or Houlihan, because I would have not had that morph ball for a long time, just like Cassidy. Also, what really sucked though is that I missed heading to SM, but I forgot. And if I had not, then I would have had that sword to go to the back of Skull Woods to get the hammer earlier. But it didn't pan out that way, so I felt super behind once I found hammer.
Yeah, that hammer on Mothula was really just a bad location.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like Cassidy put off Meridia for a good while. After finding Morph Ball, I'm sure feeling a little bit behind, probably checked that off mentally for a short while. And having the fire rod there would have made maybe a little bit of difference in his actions as well to head towards Skullwoods sooner than he did.
Oh, I see.
But you actually had some really impressive fights, like your Dragon first try, microwave, just super quick, really clean. It was very impressive to watch.
You could thank Catfish for that one.
Yeah?
That was super convenient for it to be on Catfish right before I was about to go back to backdoor Meridia.
Yep. Plasma is pretty great for you to find there. And you got charge quite early, like you said, because of the fire rod and the sword and the mushroom and everything that gave you the ability to check that, but not to get to Mothula. So that was nice for you to have that.
And I was pretty nervous going into the Turian, like right with Rudder Brain. I screwed up the Zeb skip about 5 times. I was like, goodness gracious, this can't get any worse at the end.
Yeah, and Zeruvian actually gave a pretty good explanation on what to do and how it works and everything. I've never been able to make it work, probably because more often than not I have screw attack and I forget that it's really hard to do when you have screw attack, but
Screw attack, yeah, you specifically need to down back if you have the screw attack on. That's, Relkin probably got it a lot faster than even I would have.
Yeah, I know how to do it. It's just, so I'll drop this now. I play with analog stick, so that makes it a lot harder for me to get like more frame perfect movements easily. So getting the short hop was not really. It was like I would press the button before I would hit the stick, and that would not be doing a spin jump. And so
yeah.
And so I couldn't, and I was just jumping normally towards the wall, and then I would mess it up, and I have to wait another like 10 seconds. But yeah, thankfully I did finally get it.
Yes, very much. GG. And of course, with your beam combo and stuff, if you really needed to, you could have switched to ammo and eventually just made it through. But fortunately, you did get the Zeb skip. You had a good stand-up glitch. And overall, it was very impressive. You did a really great job. I could see how you did so well in groups and everything. And so it's GG's and good luck to you on your future matches.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the restream and the commentary and tracking.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, questions? How do you feel about the 2 people that you've got coming up?
I know QD is really good at SM. They're kind of, like top 4 in any percent.
Oh yeah,
SM.
that's right. You are going up against. Yeah, that's right. I forgot he had a bye. Ugh. You can do this though. I mean, it was a really good race today.
Yep.
That seat didn't literally pull you around in every single direction. That could have been done a lot faster.
Yeah.
Hey, that's rando.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your race. Again, good luck going up against QD coming up. Look forward to seeing that on the schedule. And anything else you have to say?
I think I've said all I wanted to say. So yeah, GG's.
All right, Zeruvian, wrap it up.
That is going to do it for us tonight on SpeedGaming 6. We do have a Metroid Prime 2 randomizer going on 5, if we want to check that one out. Tomorrow, got some fun matches as well. Gonna have the rematch of Ancient Gamer and the Blue Crayon. That is at 6:10 tomorrow. Make sure you tune in for that one. And that's among other kinds of matches we've got going on all weekend. So, for Ms. Metroid and our tracker Mind of Me, this is Zeruvian. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next mission.